When I first saw the colleges, what really attracts me to them is really the natural beauty. I can't think of another college or university, I've probably been to hundreds in my life, that has such a nice setting as the colleges do there where they are looking out over Seneca Lake. It's just gorgeous. That's the first thing that attracted me, but then when I came and met people, the other thing is, of course, the people. How much people care about the college, how devoted they are to it, how they want to see it become even better, how they care about it from day to day. That's really what attracted me in the end. One thing that Hobart and William Smith colleges do particularly well is really think about development of the whole student. They're not just about you're going to take these credits, they're not just about you're going to be on this team, but they're really thinking about the whole person and how to develop that over the life cycle of a student being in college. And I think that is so important, particularly taking into account what I really liked is the motto also, or the saying of the idea that you're trying to develop people who will live lives of consequence. And to live a life of consequence, you have to think about your whole self and your whole being. And I just think that's one of the greatest phrases I've ever heard about what colleges, particularly liberal arts colleges, should be doing. As someone who's been a scholar and an academic for 31 years now, it's very important to me to maintain that kind of mindset and to try to also help transmit that mindset to others that I meet and encounter while I'm at the colleges. I think it's important to always be questioning, to be open, to be transparent, to be willing to talk about sometimes difficult topics, and also bring other people to campus that will model that also, to encourage the faculty to be both research-oriented and pedagogy dedicated, and for the students to also take their studies seriously as well as their co-curricular and other activities, and understand how they all fit together. I hope I will be able to teach at various points, though maybe not right away. I've always enjoyed having that formal relationship with students, but I also hope to actually have more time to just meet them and talk with them at many events on campus, including hopefully inviting many of them and having them to my house over the next few years. And that through that I learn about what they're interested in, what their courses are, what their activities are, and what they're hoping to do after they leave the colleges. College athletics is such an interesting phenomenon because it is such a U.S.-specific phenomenon. In other countries, colleges and athletics are separate activities. But in the U.S., they've come together, and I think that's actually a really good thing because it allows people to dedicate themselves to something they care so much about. And it can be two things. It can be both their studies and the college sports, and they're able to combine those two interests into one area. I think the type of training it gives you in terms of time management and structuring and working with other people and working together towards a common goal are invaluable experiences. That said, I think all co-curricular experiences can have attributes of that as well. I don't like to separate athletics from all the other things people can do, like be in the theater group or work on the school paper. I think all of these things, if you dedicate yourself to an additional activity, it's a very rewarding experience to do that as well during your time in college. Global education is so important because it ties in also with diversity and inclusion. If you don't go around and see how other people live, understand other cultures, particularly if you have the chance to have an immersive experience where you actually go and live abroad during your college years or at another time in another culture for longer, you don't understand the culture. And I've never had anybody come back from one of these experiences and say, boy, I wish I hadn't gone abroad. I wish I had stayed here instead. If anything, it opens you up to either want to go back to the place that you've already started to learn about or to learn to travel more widely and see other places. It really helps open us up to understand the whole world and all the variations in it. Alums of Hobart and William Smith colleges are such an important part of the entire community. I want them to feel proud that they went to our colleges, and I want them to also feel comfortable when they come back to our colleges, whether it's for a formal event like reunions or homecoming, or whether they just want to stop by and walk through the campus one day and just see how it looks and whether it reminds them of when they were there. And if they're proud of the campus and proud of the colleges and they feel a part of the community and comfortable, then they will serve the colleges as well. They will be there for our students when our students want career advice or an internship. They will recommend to young people coming out of high schools across the country and across the world that they should come to the colleges, and they will serve in many ways, whether it's financial contributions, time contributions, or literally just spreading the good word about what a wonderful place it is. I think back about who I most admire, who has most influenced me in my career. So many people have had small parts of that. I'd have to say probably my father. who passed away a few years ago. He was an academic. He cared so much about languages. He was a linguist by training, and he worked to preserve several different languages, worked intimately with both the Washoe people in the Great Basin, where we grew up in Reno, and also with the Makah. When I saw growing up the dedication that he had to his work, where he would come home every night, and after grading papers, he'd still be working, and we'd spend all summers working, I think I really understood what it was like to dedicate your life to something larger than you. And I've always taken that model for what I do with my own work and my own life.